Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. I'm Roshan Jahan Ahmed and today we are going to discuss about academic psychology in India in the post-independence era. And the discussion about the pre-independence era has already been given in a previous video. So this is a continuation of the previous video. And as we know, in the syllabus, the post-independence era has been divided further into various categories. So today we have touched the first category, which is 1970s, the move to addressing social issues. So we will start with the 1970s, and after the previous video, I had compiled a few points regarding academic psychology in India after independence, and those points have been uploaded in my Facebook page. I will give the link of the Facebook page here. So I have not made a separate video on those points. And in today's video, I will also discuss some other points regarding academic psychology in India, both before and after independence. So let's get started then. Okay, so before delving into the discussion on the 1970s, we will discuss certain points about the emergence of academic psychology in India both before and after independence. And these are miscellaneous points. So let's start with the first point. Founder of modern psychology in India. Very important question, friends. So founder of modern psychology in India, there are two names, Narendranath Sengupta and Gunamodian David Boaz. Okay, so there are two people whom we claim to be the founder of modern psychology in India. Now let's introduce them one by one. Who was Narendranath Sengupta? You have already come across his other credits in the previous video. So N.N. Sengupta, he was Harvard educated and he was mentored by Hugo Munsterberg. Hugo Munsterberg himself was the student of Wilhelm Wundt. Okay, then he is credited with the establishment of the Psychology and Education section in the Indian Science Congress Association in 1923, and this step helped in establishing psychology as a science. Then he was the founder of Indian Psychological Association, and he was also the first editor of Indian Journal of Psychology, the first journal of psychology in India. So he was the first editor of that journal. Another work to his credit, he was the author of the first text of social psychology in India, and along with him there was another author whose name was Professor Radhakamal Mukherjee, and it was done in the year 1929. Now N.N. Sengupta had authored these books, namely Mental Growth and Decay and Heredity in Mental Traits. Now a brief introduction about Dr. Gunamodian David Boaz. So he was the founder head of the Department of Psychology at the University of Madras. And this establishment of the Department of Psychology at the University of Madras was done under the influence of Nobel laureate C.V. Raman and G.N. Ramachandran, another famous scientist. The department focused on the education and development of children. And in today's time, the Tamil Nadu Government Psychiatric Rehabilitation Center is named after him. And what is the name of that particular hospital? Dr. G.D. Bose Memorial Hospital. So he is a very noted personality. Now some other points. So friends, do you know the topic of research for the first doctorate degree in psychology, which was attained by Girindra Shekhar Bose? The topic was concept of repression. Okay, so the research was done on repression, and as we know that Dr. Girindra Shekhar Bose was a close affiliate of Sigmund Freud, and he initiated psychoanalysis in India. So his topic for research was also repression, a topic from the psychoanalytic tradition. Okay, now we will go through a timeline of the history of psychology in India. So in 1956, the University Grants Commission, that is UGC, was set up, and it facilitated the establishment of 32 psychology departments by the end of the 1960s. So because of the fund provided by UGC, it was possible to set up about 32 psychology departments by the end of the 1960s. 1961. So in 1961, the psychology department at Allahabad University was established. And who was the head of the department? He was Professor Durganand Sinha. So this was about the University of Allahabad. Here I would like to add one point. Do you know which university is known as the Oxford of the East? Yes, Allahabad University. Just for our GK. Anyways, in 1964, psychology department was started at Delhi University. In 1959, Department of Applied Psychology at Mumbai University was set up. So, till 1959, there was no department which actually offered applied psychology. So, it started with the Department of Applied Psychology at Mumbai University. Moving on, 1967, Department of Applied Psychology at Calcutta University under the guidance of Professor S.N. Roy. 1974, Bangalore University and Bharatiyar University together came up with a directory by compiling 503 psychological tests. So, 503 psychological tests were included in a directory by the joint initiative of Bangalore University and Bharatiyar University in the year 1974. Now let's move to the discussion about the emergence of academic psychology in India in the 1970s and what was the focus in the 1970s. So in the 1970s, the psychology started to address social issues, and that's why this subcategory in the unit of your syllabus for psychology for UGC NET has been named as 1970s, the move to addressing social issues. Okay, so what happened during that particular period? Let's see. So after a survey by Indian Council of Social Science Research, that is the ICSSR, in the year 1971, it was found that the areas under social psychology which demanded immediate attention were social change, social tension, social problems like unemployment and poverty, student unrest, etc. And some of the Indian psychologists who later took up intense work in such areas were Dr. Amar Kumar Singh. He was associated with Ranchi University, and Dr. J.B.P. Sinha. He belongs to A.N. Sinha Institute of Social Studies. And Dr. Sinha is the author of the book Psychosocial Analysis of the Indian Mindset. And see, after independence in India, there were various social problems which are prevalent. Okay, and some of those problems were communal tension and violence, refugee problems, and so on. And psychology started to realize that there was a need to address social issues also. Okay, and so in 1950, what happened? UNESCO entrusted a noted psychologist, Gardner Murphy, to conduct a research on the reasons of communal tension in India. So Gardner Murphy, the famous psychologist, he was sent to India to research on the reasons of communal tension in India. Now a brief introduction about Gardner Murphy. Gardner Murphy was an American psychologist, and he specialized in social psychology, personality psychology, and parapsychology. And he also served as APA president. Now, Gardner and the team of researchers from various universities in India came up with a detailed book, and the name of the book was In the Minds of Men, a study of human behavior and social tensions in India. And it included discussions on communal tensions, tensions resulting from caste system, tensions caused by industrialization and the refugee problem, and there is also a chapter on child development. Now, what are some of the methods used for data collection? They used interview and they also used attitude tests. And they opined at the end of the research that education was one of the many factors or forces which leads to integrity and unity. Now, another point which is not related to this survey. So in 1950, what happened? Ahmedabad Textile Industries Research Association, the abbreviated form of which is ATIRA, ATIRA, it was formed, and it was formed to look into the matter of motivational problems among workers in the textile industries. And Erikson and McClellan, the famous psychologists, they were frequent visitors to this association. So psychology began to be applied not only in the academic realm but also in the other fields such as business, industries, organizations, etc. And we have briefly touched upon the starting of a psychology wing in the defense sector also in the year 1949. So I have discussed those points in my Facebook page. So you can please visit that and go through it. And that's all for today. Thank you for watching, and please like, share, subscribe, and press the bell icon if you can. And we will meet in the next video. Till then, take care.